Welcome to Key Tech. Please describe this channel if you are interested in today's video. As soon as the oil gun is lit, the gold is 10,000 taels. If there is any country and region in the world today that can be described by the four words, abundantly rich, Saudi Arabia should be the first to bear the brunt. Especially in recent years, changes in the international situation have made Saudi Arabia a lot of money, but the risks involved have also made Saudi Arabia a little scared, so it has deepened cooperation with China since this year, and signed many contracts with China. In fact, Saudi Arabia is indeed very powerful. In the new list of the world's top 500 companies, Saudi Arabia's Saudi Aramco ranked second, with a revenue of $603.6 billion, and its profit ranked first in the world. However, things seem to be turning around as one piece of news emerges. It is reported that Saudi Arabia handed over the latest infrastructure project to the United States, but China is not included in the cooperation list. The American media also expressed arrogantly about this. How should we deal with this? As we all know, Saudi Arabia has accumulated huge wealth by virtue of its large amount of local oil resources. However, Saudi Arabia did not sit back and enjoy the benefits, but vigorously improved oil processing and refining technology. However, Saudi Arabia seems to have begun to transform. Although China restricts the export of raw materials such as gallium and germanium, it allows the trading of finished mineral products to improve China's local processing capacity for gallium and germanium. The same is true for Saudi Arabia. It doesn't want to just sell crude oil, but wants to improve its oil processing capacity and even develop new energy sources. However, this still has a lot of requirements for infrastructure, but although Saudi Arabia has abundant oil resources, it does not have any advantages in infrastructure. Who is best at building infrastructure? Without a doubt, China. China knows that in recent years, China and the United States have launched fierce competition around the semiconductor industry. Saudi Arabia not only has close cooperation with China in various fields such as oil, steel, infrastructure, communications and finance, but also signed many delivery orders with China. Naturally, the United States will not sit idly by, so it protested to Saudi Arabia, asking it to abandon cooperation with China, including not allowing RMB settlement in oil trade, and stopping cooperation with Huawei in 5G. After all, these two areas pose a great threat to the United States. However, in the context of economic globalization, it is not so easy to completely cut off the cooperation between countries, not to mention that in many fields, Saudi Arabia and China actually get what they need. For example, Saudi Arabia has oil, and China having electricity can be said to be a match made in heaven. Saudi Arabia can use it to develop new energy industries, while China can obtain a large amount of oil reserves. So not long ago, Saudi Aramco reached a super large order with China worth tens of billions of dollars, which made the United States envious. Of course, after Saudi Arabia chose to cooperate with China on infrastructure projects, some large-scale infrastructure cooperation projects will be indispensable in the early stage. Like Saudi Arabia's continuous construction of the King's Port University infrastructure, China Power Construction builds the world's largest composite shipyard, mainly manufacturing offshore oil and gas platforms and ships. In this field, Saudi Arabia has reached an order of about $3 billion with China. However, the United States is still lingering around China. Seeing that the direct cooperation between Saudi Arabia and China is becoming more and more harmonious, the United States will naturally be unable to sit still. Especially this time, the United States chose to make trouble in the infrastructure field that China is best at, which also gave the American media confidence. No wonder they said, "The situation has reversed, how should we deal with it now?" To put it simply, the US recently proposed a US version of its high-speed rail plan in front of Saudi Arabia. The US named it Rebuilding a Better World, or B3W for short. Regarding this plan, how big is the pie drawn by the United States? Let's put it this way, tens of trillions of dollars will be burned in 10 years. Covering solar energy, high-speed rail and other fields. It is worth mentioning that in this brand new infrastructure project, there is no Chinese name, which is naturally welcome to the American media. But is this really the case? Indeed, the United States did propose a high-speed rail cooperation plan to Saudi Arabia, but the details are surprising. The technology is provided by Israel, and the infrastructure is handed over to India. Then what? Then it's gone. What? What about America? The United States has already proposed a plan. Oh, the original plan does not include the United States. What's even more outrageous is that this high-speed rail plan even has a speed limit of 110 kilometers per hour, which is slower than China's bullet trains 10 years ago. The United States wants to use this to connect Israel and India, but this is not good for Saudi Arabia. Isn't it ridiculous? Thank you for watching this video. If you agree with the point of view of this video, please like it. Welcome to Forward, leave a message and share.